What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Shadovv coming at you with another incredible video. So we're kind of picking off right where we left off. Let's see. Where's the option to talk to that one girl at? It's like, oh, companion quest. Yes, we will do that as well. Divert power. Deliver reads message. So power's over there. Oh, but before that, that's right, since we are going to be over encumbered as well, we are going to go ahead and break that down, yes. Oh, do I want to break that down? I want to break this one down. Break one of those down. Oh wait. 215, 215, 215. 215. Okay, perfect. Go ahead and reload that. So, we are on a mission, and I do want to spend some time talking about Modern Warfare 4. Do I want to? Last time I Last time I took these enemies out, they didn't really yield anything rewarding. I think what I'm gonna do is just loot these corpses, and then take out the people who aren't there. So we're basically doing a rerun of what we just did. Speaking of rerun, that's mine. So let's just go ahead and break this down as well. I think I dropped something. Alright. No? Alright, cool, whatever. So we know there's enemies in there, that's for sure. We also know we have to kill enemies over here. I think it's...
Here they come!
Oh no, I didn't mean to do this. Combatant perks. Oh yeah, that's right. We did that in the last one. I think it was like right here or something. Where was it that we took them out? Up here? I doubt it was this far up. Was it? I'm losing my mind over here. Finger of digits. I knew it. So I guess it was in... Oh, we just go forward. We don't fully go. That's right. Okay. Was it? I remember there being an entrance. Oh, shit. That was right. Oh, I completely forgot.
All together! Down they go! That's smart! Wow, not even a scratch!
Okay. Can I get your finger, please? I think I'll probably sell that. shit too. I can't really remember if they have anything in this. Ooh, yes, please. Is that a note yet? Oh. Alright, so I'm pretty sure we finished up that quest. Now we just gotta turn them in. But that comes into talk to her. Which I know there's somewhere nearby. Okay, straight across from that. So, we'll go talk to her first. Can we get there? Looks like we might be able to. But I feel like I'm gonna encounter some resistance over here. Oh, I saw red. So there's some kind of enemy. An enemy. Let's scope it out. Oh, Thomas Kent. Okay. You seem to be friendly. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yo, you okay? I see everything so. You have mines, bro?
Oh, hey there, friend.
Don't friend me, you just try to blow my ass up.
Sure, yeah. Hey, just talk to Adelaide if you're looking to join us.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice.
Poultice?
Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear? Really? Now that you mention it, you don't have the look of an indentured laborer about you.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
nearly enough despair in your eyes.
Hi, Miss McDevitt.
Parvati. Are you still in the custom of collecting flowers? You're welcome to take your pick. I do apologize for visiting upon your intentions. You and yours are welcome here. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
Don't mind
No,
if I
dear.
do.
The garden belongs to us all. Life is the gift of the universe, and the universe yields its bounty equally, absent of prejudice. The soil around the Vale went sour years ago, but I found a way to sweeten it back up. The secret recipe is a little bit of elbow grease, a dash of love, and a heaping pile of special fertilizer.
Okay.
A home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose. So, like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots.
I respect that.
It is an unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the place that was once her home for much of her life has changed. The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. And that is as much as I will say on the subject. Reed Thompson, you here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then?
Oh, I should probably start reading these off. You're living off power that belongs to the town. Come back to the cannery. That's about it. Reed asked you to consider coming back to his town. He's willing to make amends. Something about back to the town and losing power. I wasn't really listening. I don't think I'm going to choose that option.
Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves. He would do such a thing. Question is, why would you agree to his plans?
Your camp has a power regulator. I need it to repair my ship.
Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do.
Okay, now we're in a predicament, boys. I could consider it. What do you have against the town? I'm not looking to get mixed up in your problems. I just want to fix my ship. A hero to you, maybe?
A hero to the people who matter. To us. To the ones who come around. To the ones you save. Reed will never understand. He has been too long inebriated on the wine of corporate culture. All he sees is productivity, output, profits.
True, true. I'll consider it. You think Reed's just trying to spite you? Let's say I help you. What happens to Edgewater?
Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt.
Oh,
The
shit.
cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives. You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it.
I kind of wonder what you have against the town.
You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps.
Yeah.
Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery,
They look
living
like
off
husk.
whatever scraps Spacer's Choice throws them. You know
Honest-
that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
I don't much like you throwing that in her face to get you on my side. What do you have against people trying to make a living? Yeah, like that was pretty mean.
I'm all right. I ain't so fragile.
That was unkind of me. I'm
Yes, it
sorry,
was.
dear.
In fact, you should bake some apology cupcakes.
It's not much of a living. Every single person in that town has sold themselves to Spacer's Choice. The
I-
company owns them. Body, blood, and bones. You've been there. You've seen it. All anyone ever does is toil over a cannery. They give their lives for some heartless corporation, and then they're tossed into a Spacer's Choice brand cemetery.
Yeah, I don't really like Space's Choice. I have a really strong hatred for them this early on in the game, which is weird to say.
So, what do you say? Divert power over to us. Shut down that abominable cannery for good. I trust you will listen to your conscience.
So do I.
Anything else I can do for you?
First we talked. You'd assume I'd come here to
I am
live.
getting old, you know. These two lamps of mine are not as bright as they once were.
This little
Or I
light
might
of
have seen you
mine,
for what you are.
it's gonna let me. Or is it? It's gonna let me shine? I think that's how it goes. I don't imagine you get lots of visitors.
My dear, we are all visitors in a momentary universe.
Oh, you're one of those.
Our lives flicker in and out like the guttering of a flame. Here now, then gone. Me and mine are just carrying on as best we can, trying to live our lives in a way that does not feel wasted.
You're basically one of those who, like, if the earth was flat, then cats would have pushed everything off of it by now. I've been smoking for 22 years, trust me, I know. Why are you telling me all of this? Not a bad way to go about your life, until your power cuts out. Anyways, dum dum dum.
A little prattling never hurt anyone, dear. You might even
Say that
catch
to
a
my
little
therapist.
sense, if you listen close enough. I can't stop you from conducting your business
Excuse
down
me?
at the plant. I just want you to know that if you take our power away, you will have brought an end to our way of life. Not under Reed's watch. He and I would come to blows within a day, and he would never tolerate my tending to a garden. This is my home. It will be my home even if Reed cuts our power. Simple as that.
Yes, yes it will. I really know you and him have a history though.
That's because Reed was my boss.
Ha, no sir.
I was the cannery's one and only flavor specialist, you see. Remember that limited run of white chocolate saltuna? That was all me. My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick.
Oh shit.
We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. A fish rots from the head down. I do not blame the town. I blame the leader.
Oh shit, alright.
I'm listening. That's not strange at all, dear. Few of us truly know where we are. The world can seem like a forest without end, and it is all too easy to lose one's way.
Oh, true.
But we must remember that being lost is the first step in discovering yourself.
I could do without the cliches. Let's go with this one.
This is the old botanical lab in Emerald Vale, on Terra 2. By the look on your face, I'm guessing you're not quite following me. Are you not feeling well? Ought to lay your head down if you're running fever.
I'm just getting my bearings. My pod landed not far from here. I was kidnapped by a crazy scientist and shot into space, but thanks for asking. I was hoping it's all a bad dream and I'm still in hibernation.
That sounds like fever talk, all right. So why am I tempted to believe you? Where did you say you were from?
I didn't. I arrived here from Earth.
Is that a new settlement of some kind? I haven't kept news from outside the Vale. Oh dear, I see what's happening. You've been taking Adrena time. That stuff will burn right through your upper story. Leave you raving and babbling. You ought to try some of my purgative tea. Won't cure what ails you, but it will distract you for a spell.
Why does no one ever believe me?
Maybe I do. I don't know yet. Growing up, I heard my folks talking about the hope. Always believed it was just a story we told ourselves to keep our spirits up. Listen, don't you worry about what I think. That's not important.
Oh, you're nice.
Worry about what the board thinks of you going around talking about lost ships from decades past.
I'm not afraid of the board. Why? I haven't done anything wrong. Let's just talk about something else. I fear no man.
No, but the board may have reason to fear you. You carry on about coming here from another world, and people will talk. Talk leads to questions. Ask enough questions, and the board comes answering.
Man, I want to meet this board.
I'm listening.
That's about it.
Yeah, huh?
Alright. So we made it to this little town. Damn it. Alright. Oh wait, map. So now we can fast travel. Visit a volcanic. Let's fast travel. So now we're gonna go talk to that dude and figure out his side of the story, because I feel like I'm getting duped here, brother. Internal anatomy. Charge up weapons like the plasma rifle will consume more ammo, but in a larger heap or some shit. You can flag items as... Okay. They'll look me too then,
If you're falling
brother.
sick, I don't want you near me.
Don't worry. I wouldn't do that to you.
Oh, okay.
Something got you down?
Nothing. You're sick. Some old head running around town talking about lost holiday ships.
Hey. That's kind of mean. Oh shit, he was just right there. I hope I don't get copy striked for this music. Like I did in Borderlands. Actually, yeah, that's one of the reasons I kind of don't want to play it. Because I've been receiving copyright strikes for their music.
Something on your mind?
Yes, something is on
Go
my
ahead.
mind. Deserters.
That you were not one of... I admit the fault was mine. I'm about as diplomatic... Script? Yes, we have lost good workers to desertion. we have lost even more.
Damn it. Alright, so I guess I can't ask you about that. Let's just go back to the map then. Can we fast travel here? Oh, we can fast travel. Terror on the Monarch. With Ruth Bellamy as Halicon Helen. Spencer Woolrich as Chief of the Savages, featuring real monsters from the Doomed World. Oh, I'm guessing the Doomed World is Earth. That would make sense why they flew out and why this game is so focused on corporate, since only corporations with enough money would be able to evacuate Earth. Either that or they're using Earth as a cover-up.
I'm ready for this.
Headshot. Oh, I missed that one.
Nice one.
Get smacked. Oh shit. Oh damn. Kinda need you to wake up, everybody. Dude, you have like infinite health or what, bro? Okay. Well, nice of you to wake up.
I always wanted to poke around in here.
Automatic pistol. Let's go ahead and go into inventory. We have quite a bit of stuff. Yes, don't need that. Could do without some of these. Do without that. Armor. Oh wait. 14. Let's go into our companion actually. You have 9, so perfect. Actually, your guns. What's your, let's see, level? Lockpicking, engineers. Okay. So I don't really need you having. Oh wait. What gun do you have equipped? Oh, so okay. That kind of makes sense. Increase your companion's health. Increase the amount of threat this companion generates when attacking enemies. Decrease the amount of threat. Increase your engineering skill. I think more base health would do her a lot better. Yeah, Spacer's Choice. It's not looking like the best company. From the planet to your living room, most melee weapons can perform up to 3 quick swing combos. Some unique weapons can do fewer. Some can do fewer. I guess those are like the heavy hitting sledgehammer. The Earth Dictate. Okay. Melee weapons can modifications can improve swing type, change the damage type, and even make your weapon more durable.
The control room should be off to the right. I hope we're doing the right thing.
No one ever knows.
Don't mess with us.
Alright, so... Ooh, we could climb up this, can't we? Well, we can't jump climb it. A hatchet? That's old school, really. Unlock office doors. Return to route. Messages. Spacer's Choice. This letter serves as an informal notification of our company's displeasure towards your management of the Emerald Val geothermal plant. For reasons related to exceeding your staff budget in the latest quarterly report, please select 5 subordinates to be dismissed immediately. Additionally, please contact our office to schedule your official reprimand at your earliest convenience. Failure to schedule your official reprimand will result in the official reprimand and an official reprimand. The spatial choice. Oh, screw this thing, dude. To the esteemed members of Emerald Valley Development Oversight Committees, I hope this letter finds you wealthy. After due consideration with your last letter, I have identified and terminated no fewer than 5 subordinates who were unable to provide sufficient justification for their ongoing employment. I would like to remind you that the Oversight Committee, while most of the Emerald Val has failed to meet its productions and output quota, particularly our agriculture and fishing/canning departments, neither of which are anywhere close to profitable, the Emerald Val geothermal plant remains committed to providing cheap, cost-effective power to the entire region. Dude, this... Oh, wow. We have investigated the claims made against the profitability for our greater Emerald region. Our offices agrees with you. Agriculture, fishing, and canning have experienced a steady decline, while Emerald Valley geothermal plant remains somewhat profitable. Our office are currently investigating the ways to implement additional cost-saving measures, which will ultimately lead to a leaner, more streamlined, more efficient geothermal plant. Please be informed that our Spacer Choice Development and Oversight Office has taken a slight insurance policy against the Emerald Valley geothermal plant. The office would like to assure you that the insurance policy is standard procedure. Do not attempt to interpret, understand, or otherwise extrapolate the meaning from this decision. As a special courtesy, we have deployed a proprietary team of engineer specialists to this plant. The team of specialists have been instructed to refit and upgrade the plant's populations of auto mechanicals free of charge. Wow. Anything in here? No. Okay. I guess the office door's open. That's locked. Cool. Oh.
Here we go. Woohoo! Nice work.
Plant status. Alright, well, let's keep going down. I can't remember. I think we went this way. What was in here? Oh. Just another entry point. Come on. Alright, we read all of these in the last one, so I'm not gonna bother reading them again. I read the first one because we didn't actually read that one through. Hard.
Here they come!
Oh shit, where are they coming from? Oh shit.
We're not getting through! Everyone alright?
Damn, some workers. Workers ultimately went rip. Mr. Ouch. I'll definitely take that off your hands. If you would allow me.
Unexpected.
Here they come! There they go!
Oh, there's more.
No, just leave me alone.
Mr. Higgs, here I come, brother.
You're not real. You're not real.
That's nice.
You're not real. You're not real. Get away from me, Phantom. Shoot. Scrap. You can talk? The Phantoms never talked before. I knew I shouldn't have eaten that sprat raw. See? See, Higgins? This is why you must all... Clearly, I mistook you for one of the Phantoms of my imagination, which terrorized me on occasion. Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not... hard to say. Oh, Higgins is... I've come a long way for... I was on cleaning duty. Look, I don't want to fall into any you know, I discovered yeah, there's a behavior... Oh,
we basically
that reminds me.
All this
You'll need my...
quiz.
The tail. Jimmy'd... Brazed. Mechanicals lost... I was on cleaning duty. Jimmy'd open... Well, yeah, brazed. I specialized in automat... Oh, before. Jimmy'd open the...
Alright. I got all I need out of you. I'll take it now. Alright. To make it a bit easier on us, since these robots are no joke, modify behavior to select new model or new mode. Define intruders. Perfect. I wonder if I could just blow this plant up instead. I'm just asking for a friend, guys.
Self-diagnostics complete. Navigation systems operational. Combat systems operational.
Jerry.
It's not the best choice. It's the spacer's choice. All systems fully operational. Return journey successfully completed. Spacer's Choice would like to thank you for complying with your duties. Hostile actions towards Spacer's Choice mechanics are contrary to logical directive. Conclusion: all hostile automechanicals must be defective in compliance with Spacer's Choice policy. All defective automechanicals must be permanently dismantled. Please allow me to assist. Affirmative. Mechanicide protocols loaded. Awaiting confirmation.
Oh. Oh, okay. Corporate just sent me a team of technicians to conduct a complete refit of all our mechanicals. Every sentry and drone. It's not my place to say, but it doesn't seem to run contrary to Spacer's Choice missions as being as cheap as possible. Just in case I'm audited, I would like to formally express how grateful I am to be a part of this family. Of course. Just finished the routine maintenance on our mechanical sentries. I found some strange modifications to their logic modules. I haven't had time to run a diagnostic, so I don't know what's been modified. All I know is these modifications were introduced in our recent refit. The company went through some terrible the trouble of refitting every single mechanical in the plant not long ago, guessing that was the work of those visiting technicians. I filed a report, but my supervisor told me not to worry about it. Said the company knew exactly what it was doing, ordered me to forget about any alleged modifications in the logic modules. Decided to do a bit of slithering by my own self, got my hands on the logic module. Time to do some experience. See Higgins. Borrowed the copy of Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineers, Volume 3. I think I need to read this down in the pit. Okay, this was normal. Don't really need that. I don't remember. Can I go this way? Nope.
Mechanicide protocols currently active. Please do not interrupt.
I kinda don't want our boy Jeremy to die. So we are gonna have to destroy these as fast as possible. They haven't destroyed themselves. Okay.
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
Okay. What's up here then?
Resetting threat level. All performed.
Incoming!
Oh crap.
Woo! We made it!
Alright. And I think our boy Jeremy's still alive. I have no clue what this does, by the way. Okay, that's not dangerous. This unlocks to that one. Which other one was the one I opened? This one? Oh, okay. It loops us through. Got you. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Increase the ammunition. How tinker. Or repair you. Oh, this way. Oh, but that one's electrical. Okay, never mind. What do I do now? Do I just like complete the mission or? And what happened to Jeremy? I can't remember if those here a pathway to go to. Flaw tutorial. Permanently crippled. Your legs have been damaged too many times and your movement speed has now been permanently lowered. Movement speed minus 30. You are unable to... No, let's reject that. Okay. Well, it looks like all we could do is climb. What's our journal say? I need to go this way, right? Okay, so from what I've learned from Fallout games is you always save.
If we do this, there's no going back. Something you need?
No.
Excuse me, ma'am. Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do?
Let's hear some.
I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished. That sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way. Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. Somehow, she's talked the ground into giving life again. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred? Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something. Really? I mean, wow. Thanks.
Damn it.
No one's ever told me those words in that order.
Ugh. Now I gotta save over this. Alright. So now we just kinda got told that. We could probably do this, right? Okay. Can't get it from there. We'll find somewhere else we can. Ooh, light machine gun. Would you look at that? Oh, damn. Well, that was kind of nice. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, we got that. So, let's go to journal. I thought I did retrieve the logic thing. Oh, I guess I got like a... Did I get a key code or something for it? Alright. Oh wait, not that. Dirolettes. Back to Ludwig. And away we go! Okay. Oh, I know there was an exit point over here, right? Alright, so I'm still think I'm gonna cut all power to Edgewater, but I'm gonna go ahead and turn in these quests first because I want to be able to get the rewards from these in case if I cut power to Edgewater off and it sounds like, oh no, I hate you, leave. I could be like, ha, still got the rewards, son. The original naming scheme for planets of the Helicon system was chosen by the head of Helicon, I think it said housing.
Here we go. Everyone all right?
All right. Let's go to the map. Anytime there, buddy. There we go. Fox Windows. I wonder why, like, the moon head. Is it like, because our ambitions first started from shooting to the moon and colonizing it? Leaves you wondering. Anytime, load time, there we go. There, I have some things for you.
Bring us honor, soldier. Bang up work, soldier. You're a credit to your uniform. Oh, that reminds me. Gotta look into getting us a uniform. So this is it then. The key to humanity's victory over the mechanical hordes. I would reward you with the gratitude of the resistance, but I'm guessing you want something tactile. So here's a couple of bits for your trouble, and a little something to remember me by. War ain't over.
Oh, wait.
Go on.
Okay, never mind. Damn, this is a mean looking gun, bro. Let's enter. We gotta go talk to that lady majig thing. Whatever. A whole triple care bread in a carton? Like that? Well, okay, I could probably see it. But like, that just looks, I don't know. I would kind of want to try it. See how good it tastes. Out of Auntie Cleo. Oh, a lot of people do hate Auntie Cleo. I think Auntie Cleo might be like the family first kind of company. Take a little shortcut. Okay, it's not a shortcut.
Been eating nothing but salt tuna for a year.
Vale's a little safer. We pay by the... Mabel Burgess. Age 37. Right or left-handed? Let's just say, no longer applicable.
Hey.
I remember Doc Burgess. Conducted my physical every fiscal quarter. Guess she couldn't keep her hands off her patient's medicine. Still one outstanding bounty. If you've got... Here we are. Bertie Cotton. Cause of death. Let's just say overwhelming physical trauma. Bert was the local preacher before Max took over. Always was quick to remind us that we all get what we deserve in the end. Well, that's all three. I must remember to requisition some more fingerprint ink. Here's all the... You've done such a bang-up job hunting down our former workers that I thought it only proper to deputize you. Congratulations.
Oh, no. Why'd you do that?
Let me stop you there. It is official Spacer's Choice policy that all Marauders, regardless of prior affiliation to the Spacer's Choice brand, no longer qualify as our people. Ever since the company first settled the Vale. Life's good out here, but it ain't easy. Some folk can't keep pace with the demands of frontier life. Not everyone's cut out to work in Edgewater. Some turn deserter, some turn marauder. None of them get my sympathy. Uh-huh. I recall young Eugene. Good kid. Nice smile. Fussy about his health, though. Took a little too much adrenatime. That'll do a number on your brain matter. Says so right on the warning label. Violent psychosis is a well-documented and legally accounted for side effect of adrenatime.
Oh, shit.
What's on your mind? As long as your questions fall within the... If this is a set... I don't serve Edgewater. I've got nothing on my... As long as your questions fall within the acceptable... If this is... I don't serve Edgewater. Edgewater is... also known as the board. I must have... Flattery won't get you any...
Okay. So I've been deputized. I kinda wanna use this terminal. Was that bad?
Something to report?
Okay. Looks... These are the cells. Let's just open all of them for you.
Wish we had some better rations.
Just the way it goes, I suppose.
Oh, come on. There we go. Alright, back to the main quest? No. Damn it. Because I'm pretty sure she is gonna hate me after this. I could probably... Yeah, I could probably fast travel her. Better than nature. Auntie Cleo's. Servicing the Halicon colony. Ooh, English was hard. Hard. Terra 2 Roseway. So what, do you guys... Oh, never mind. I just don't want to get hit by another one of your mines. Is this a ship or something? Alright. Inventory. 131. Oh wait, no, you don't want that there. That's 131. 142, 131. Kinda wanna see you use that.
Eyes up! Nice one!
Oh shit. Oh damn, that's nice. Anything for me? You're saying nothing. You don't have.
That's the last of them!
Okay, can I reach you? Thank you. Okay. Damn, y'all carry quite a bit of ARs. Evicted. 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 Thank you for that. Messages. I find I must disagree. Okay, with your theories about Earth's dictatorial place in the colony system, sadly, as much as I appreciate the board and the new frontier they've opened for us, I believe Helicon and all the other colonies in the rim of the galaxy would fall to pieces of war among themselves if the Earth, is it directorial, wasn't around to regulate trade and settlements. Do you think the corporation would accept mandated inclusion of an Earth minister if they had a choice in the matter? Of course, I'd never dispute that Earth is the heart of the whole colonial system, but a real adventure and independent spirit upon which humankind truly thrives is to be found out here amongst the furthest colonies. I still think that you're wrong about history, though. The discovery of this skip drive was not what gave the Earth dictatoriate power over corporations. High cost of the Great War left them in a weakened state, and the skip drive was simply the extra leverage that the dictatoriate needed to return to power. Cool, so now we know something about the dictatoriate. You just got a letter today. Corporate ordered me to relocate the Edgewater Cannery, effective immediately. It's a shame. Was really looking forward to running my own gift shop and community center. Something rare, memorabilia. But scripture tells us that all things happen for a reason. Work fortifies the spirit and all. As for my book collection, I can't bear to part with it. Don't want those books moldering in some contraband locker. So I'll stash them away in a cave over by the river. Ooh, now looks like a revolver. Let's see what we have upstairs. Okay. Oh, so that was just another way to go to it. Alright, so I guess we gotta go by the river. Is this a giant bomb? No, it's not. we're almost near that volcanery. Spacer's choice. Is there a river here? Oh, yes, there is. I feel like there might be enemies here. Damn it! Are there any more mines? Okay, so I guess we can't defuse mines in this game.
You're fast.
Thank you very much.
Something you need?
Wasn't it? Oh, liquid. Right. Wait, there's hostage there? Oh shit, there are hostages in the water. What enemies are we near? The sleeping bears or? Seems like they're moving closer. Okay, yeah. Oh, we could just avoid them. Holy crap, dude, this town is so dead. Melee power attacks do significantly more damage, great for sneak attacks, and punching through the heavier armors. Slice, dices, cauterizes. That's cool, that's cool. Oh, that reminds me, I could level... Oh, I don't... I might as well save too. Save over that. I got 20 points. So I could now go directly into this? I think I really need to go into ranged. At least 10 points. I don't really need melee, honestly. No, don't really. No. Okay, after 50 you can specialize. I think I'm on the last ones in here. And apply it. Yes. Time dilation location hits. You have unlocked location hit effects for tactical time dilation. Hitting enemies in different locations during TTD maims or cripples those body parts. Try locating some of these different effects. Hits to the chest produce different effects when using different weapons. Nice. Okay. Bring a shrewd negotiator. Vendor prices, 50 from XP. You become more efficient in transporting. Yes, I think this is like one thing I need. Next, I might do one of these two right here. Oh wait, gotta go through here. Yes. So now those changes are official.
Any progress on that matter? Wonderful. This is fantastic. Well worth all the sacrifices I... Wait. What the fuck is this? Is this French? I can't fucking read French. It's a law-forsaken joke is what it is. French. Ha! I was so high and mighty, preaching to the yokels about following the plan, while fighting it at every turn. There is little more important than such a precious, rare text. I've spent my life searching for the keys to unlocking the secrets of the universal equation that underlies the plan. I had hoped this book held some of those answers. I became so desperate, I even got myself assigned to this plague-ridden backwater to find the damn thing. All the time and suffering I've spent. Wasted. Please, those dolts? Nothing could be more excruciating than discussing the true nature of reality with people who have no interest beyond their next Aetherwave program. But that's neither here nor there. What I need to do now is to find a translator, obviously. But to do that, I'll first need to secure transport. You have a ship. Perhaps I could make myself of use to your crew. Certainly. I already gave you most of my money, but I can offer you free spiritual counseling, and I'd be happy to watch your back. I'm pretty handy with a tossball stick, or any blunt instrument, really. I'm also a passable gun hand, if it comes to that. I can usually talk my way out of conflict, though.
Okay.
Oh, I'm fairly competent at hacking computers as well. Of course. I'm a vicar who is dedicated to his calling. More dedicated than any other you'll find in this colony. I joined the OSI to help decipher the grand plan. But instead, I ended up the vicar in a prison due to ignorance and politics. Then I came here. Satisfied?
Kind of.
It's the journal of one of the originators of the Philosopher's School of Thought, though it would be more than a century before it was perverted into that belief system. Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of that came later. Bakonu had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Most laypeople are not aware of this, but we've not discovered any new insights into the plan for a long, long time. I had an idea that we should welcome the truth, no matter where we found it. I had the worse idea to share my thoughts with a superior. And that's the long and short of it. So, fantastic. Let me get my things in order.
Edgewater's gonna miss you. Folk here always had good things to say about their vicar.
Thank you, Ms. Holcomb. I'll be glad for the change of scenery, and to leave this place behind. I shall see you on the ship, Captain, whenever you're ready to leave Emerald Vale.
Dope. Okay. Dude, I got a lot of guns. Let's break that down. Break that down. Break that down. Break that down. don't even know what else I could, like, emergency inhaler, adreno. Alright. Oh, we could probably treble. Now comes the power. Cortex. We don't need Cortex. This is a really small town, though. I'm happy to finally be able to get off of it, though. Each of your companions has a unique perk, unique special attack. Build a team that fits your playstyle. Nice, okay. Just cut me off. Oh, I thought we took care of that. We're not open this door yet, or what? Oh, that's right. I forgot. I didn't really like this.
Where are we headed?
Nowhere. There you go. Should be able to shoot a lot faster now. Security logs, blah blah blah, schedule. Oh shit, I didn't even look into this. At least we got that disabled. It's crazy how you could complete this quest by literally going in and just turning something off on the right hand side. Like, not even going through the entire building. Let's do it, brother. I'm sorry, Edgewater. I don't really like you or what your town stands. Oh shit. Okay. Stands for redirect power. Or I'll continue. To Botanical Library.
I'm glad the deserters are going to be alright when they come out, but what about the town? All those people.
They were living horrible lives. Like, I'm pretty sure we're going to get confronted out here too. Why not open this? Okay. That's cool. Titus Androdicus? Androidicus? Titus Androidicus. Blood and revenge are hammering in his head. Oh, hammering? Oh, kind of like blood and death is hemorrhaging in his head. The new original masterpiece from the directors of Agent Khan and the Islands of Murder. I don't get what the Islands of Murder, what reference that goes to. Okay. I guess, do we just go to Edgewater? Jonathan? What do we do with him? Let's probably return to read. Retrieve the power regulator. Oh, they're both in the same spot. I'm pretty sure.
Can handle this. Everyone all right?
Actually, let's switch. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. Switch that. Can I switch? There we go. There we go. Do we gotta go tell the town or what? Oh, I guess we do gotta go tell them. Hopefully we don't have to fight our way in, because if we do, then that's gonna be a bit messy, since I am a deputy and all. Ooh, what's up there? Let's take a little detour, boys. Okay, never mind. We're sticking on the right path. Guns out in the open. Help the chairman and Minister Clark. Defeat our foes. Raising your block skill unlocks perfect block. Raising your range weapon skills unlocks time dilation location hits. For example, shooting an enemy. Oh, okay. That's what I did. Raising your engineering allows you to repair your armor without a workbench, reducing the number of parts needed. Ooh. Engineering's up next then. Dialogue skill companion abilities trigger automatically in combat, distracting your enemies. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and save right there.
What are we supposed to do now?
Exercise patient. Oh, it's you. Reed told me I should be expecting you. He's inside.
I put my whole life in that cannery.
You picked a fine time to visit, stranger.
Yes, I did.
You want to know what gets my bile churning?
What's up?
Edgewater has suffered a cavalcade of disasters. Plague, marauders, desertion. Then you wandered in town. And I was so damn sure our luck was starting to turn.
Never be too sure.
I never knew how right I was. Just answer one question for me. Why'd you do it? Is that right? I'm dying to hear this. Please, educate me.
You're all slaves to Spacer Choice. I'm liberating you. Life is full of betrayals. This is just the most recent one. You're a horrible person and deserves everything.
Liberating? Edgewater is my home. The only home I've ever had. I put down roots here, gave decades of my life to this place. I never asked to be liberated. Whatever you were hoping to find down here, I advise you to turn around and leave. I have got guards posted with orders to fire on you. All right, easy now. Let's not do anything we'll regret.
Yeah, dog, don't threaten me.
I'll order my guards to stand down. Take what you came for and then leave us be. You and I have got nothing more to say. Stand down, all of you.
That's right. Oh, is there a ladder in this room? No, this way right here. Don't be trying to swing that big around me, alright, brother?
Don't know how long we'll last without power.
Well, you better go to other community that has a safer and more thriving environment.
Maybe Adelaide was right to leave.
Got my hands full at the moment.
Oh, no, don't need nothing. Return to unreliable. What if I return to Ellie's? Dude, why does the map take so damn long? Fast travel geothermal plant. Objective, oh, vendors. What's this? Botanical labs. Yeah, might as well fast travel there. Mantis worm examined. Oh, I gotta talk to my homegirl. See how she feels about this whole ordeal. Because she was always team life water or something.
You hungry? We got canid ribs, canid flank, canid snout too.
Oh shit.
Something I can help you with?
Oh, you're selling. Never mind. I think somewhere in here. Yes, I know you're somewhere in here.
Oh gosh, so pretty.
Wait, where did my companion go? Oh, here you are.
Something you need?
Oh no, never mind.
You hear that? That low, pleasant hum of electricity? It whispers across the veil like the winds of change. You've done well. I would have paid my last 5 bits to see the look on Reed's face when the last lamp in town burnt out and the cannery fell to silence. Blunt as a hammer. But you're right. Nothing can undo the past.
Yes, sir?
Time's come to look toward the future. We'll grow, I expect. A lot of workers out there with nowhere else to go. Not as many as you'd think. We're not about to let the whole town join our flock. Just the ones willing to renounce their corporate loyalties and live the way nature intended. I am curious. Why did you help us? You don't know who we are. You don't owe us a thing. The plant's crawling with mechanicals, so it stands to reason you risked your life. You're not quite like anyone else I've met. You haven't had your consciousness programmed by the board. You're welcome among us if you're ever so inclined.
Can I still talk to you about things?
You are welcome.
Damn it. Alright. Well. I guess it's time I should take my leave. Wrong way? Jeez. Alright. I don't know why I keep doing that. Damn it. It's about time I got off this planet. Where's my ship at? The Manti Pillar examined. Raising your dodge skills unlocks 4 dodge. Oh, I didn't know that. I might do that just to get forward dodge. Where's my homies at? They're no longer here? What? They were my favorite part about this.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh,
damn.
Gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. Edgewater won't last another season without power, but that don't change the fact that I'm indentured to Spacer's Choice. Company expects me back at my post. I have imagined
you don't have
it,
to.
but until you came along, I never thought I had the choice. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves from my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think? Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, ma'am. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain.
You sound more excited than when I take a woman to go buy a pair of shoes from Mr. Baton. Oh, I like...
Well, I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room. I find myself marveling at the complex simplicity of the Fibonacci spiral. I'm sure you know what that's like. Something vexing you, Captain? I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosopher scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago. He's an expert on Bakonu. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book, it would be him.
How do we find him?
That's a good question. We should start on the Groundbreaker. It's where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch.
Okay.
All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures. Before I transferred to Edgewater, I had a wealth of time to develop certain, secular skills during my years serving a particular penitentiary flock. I meditated, led sermons, provided guidance to the inmates as needed, of course. I also played prison yard tossball and taught myself a bit about computronic security systems. I'll comb the last 6 months of departure manifest to track the Philosophist's off-world destination. Thank you, Captain.
I'm not done with you, son.
Yes, you caught me. What's occupying your thoughts? Nothing too out of the ordinary. Just your run-of-the-mill vicar with a violently enthusiastic disposition.
Violently enthusiastic?
That's what my parents called it.
Oh, shit.
I grew up in a pit of a town, much like Edgewater.
I bet you burned things.
I was destined to be a laborer like my parents, but I was infected early with a need to solve the equation. My passion didn't sit well with them. On the contrary, they internalized the precepts of scientism like no one I've ever known. They had a pure faith. A faith that brought joy to them regardless of the situation. I envied that. I wanted that peace. I thought if I became a vicar, I could find it. Or at the very least, find out why I lacked it. They thought I was fighting the plan, should have accepted my lot. Some people pursue the clergy for power, prestige, but that was not me. It can be if abused. But that can be said about anything. However, in the case of the board and Halcyon, sadly, I believe you are correct.
I know I'm correct. Seems quite trusting of you just to sign on without knowing anything about me.
I have run headlong into too many walls in my pursuit of the truth. This book is my last hope, and you were my only hope of getting it translated. I honestly don't know what I'd do. This quest has consumed me for the better part of my life. I fear there's nothing else left to me. What about you? What's your story? And how did he do that? Well, you do seem different than every other colonist. Let's pretend for the moment I believe you. What are you going to do now?
I'm gonna save the other people.
That seems a dangerous proposition. Why risk your life now that it's been returned to you?
Yeah.
A commendable attitude.
Thank you. Tell me about your book we picked up.
Bakonu, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the Philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this colony.
Nice.
Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast.
Yes,
But most of the philosophist perversion of Bakonu's thoughts came more than a century after his death. Of course. Are you ready to break into security on the Groundbreaker?
Alright, so I'm guessing... Stranger in a strange land. I return to the unreliable. We gotta fast travel to a landing site. Alright, let's go to a workbench. Spacer's lightweight. Oh. Breakdown. Yes, don't need that. Or that. Or that. No. Yes. Increases the amount of ammunition this weapon carries. How much ammo does it already have? 135. Improve your... This mod is already installed. Oh shit. From 36 and I'll up it by 12. Yeah, let's do it. How much bits do I have? Oh dude, I have a lot of bits.
Yeah, huh?
Oh, no, nothing.
Captain, I have detected that the town of Edgewater is now without power. I appreciate you doing your part to hasten their demise. What can I do for you, Captain? Do you know how to install a power regulator?
Oh, of course, I'm not
Outstanding,
dumb.
Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you.
Okay, but if I didn't know what I was doing, where would I go? He said, behind me. Oh, up there. Duh. I knew what I was doing. I was just testing y'all. Make sure y'all are paying attention. Right there. Okay. What's this? Competence? You like, oh no, that's to respect. I just remembered that. Now to where?
What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the Unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Alright. Are those fins hitting, right? Against all odds, the Unreliable takes flight. Faster than light ships, drives are commonly called skip drives because they allow the ship to approach the blah blah. You could break down armor and weapons that you don't need and give parts that you could just keep secure in tip-top shape. Dialogue, oh, yeah, we've read that. It's gonna be a lot of talking in this one. I was almost
We
contemplating.
have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Aha, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the Unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you.
Yeah.
Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Culkelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay.
I mean, I could.
Without a skip drive, good luck. You'll be dead before you make it to the nearest star. Look, I admire your optimism, but the sad truth is you're stuck here. You, me, and the rest of this colony. We're all skating precariously around the edge of oblivion together. None of us are leaving Halcyon alive, so we may as well make it a better place, and we can start by reviving the Hope.
Okay.
Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Culkelly. In theory, I suppose you could land your ship in Cascadia, and in theory, I suppose you might survive the experience. Cascadia is utterly seething with dangerous, highly aggressive creatures, more than capable of tearing you limb from limb. You'd have to be a lunatic to land in Cascadia, and I'm reasonably certain I tested your brain for incipient signs of insanity. Trust me, talk to Gladys Culkelly. Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her.
I don't know.
Criminals, goodness no. Smuggling is a perfectly legitimate business venture. If misappropriating board property is a crime, well then, throw me in Tartarus. Plenty of ways to make money in Halcyon, you know. Not all are above board. Oh, above board, above the Halcyon board. Get it? Laughter. Good. Wasn't sure you'd be able to, after so long frozen. I'll make a note of that on your progress chart.
I have a progress chart? Is this like a report card or something?
Excellent. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology, years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters.
What is that?
Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the user's appearance to mimic that of another. It has limits. First-generation technology, you see, but promising. Exciting to see it in use at last.
Okay.
Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you.
Limitations.
Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker, blur, something like that. Movement makes it more likely. Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention. If they pay attention, they're more likely to notice flaws in the hologram. A change of clothes. What is this? Some old spy serial? What inattentive and brainless guard would be fooled by such a shabby disguise? The holographic shroud masks not only your clothes, but your face and fingerprints. It modulates your voice and sweetens your breath.
That sweetens my breath? Yo. I want to put this rumor down already, alright? My breath, I ain't got hot breath, alright? My breath is as sweet as an apple pie.
Science, that's how.
Oh, good explanation.
The beauty is they don't expect it. The shroud is the only one of its kind. We humans have a tendency to overlook the unexpected. Activate the... Excellent. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
But before we do that, let's level up. So apparently dodge. It's good. Medical. 60. Hostile effects duration on target plus 50% time. Inspiration. Minus 20. Companioncy at 20 plus. Armor rating, companion skill bonus plus 2 player skills plus 100%. Oh shit. Inspired precision. When companions kill an enemy, the party gains a critical hit chance. 20 Determination. I really want to do that. I don't... Access restricted terminals and rending machines. Hack auto mechanicals, turn them off for 3 seconds. Detection range plus 2.5 for 5 minutes. I think let's actually rewrite that. Oh, so once I hit 50, I just gotta go straight into one. Break down weapons and armor. Chance to extract a basic mod. Yes, I actually want to do that. Yes. Oh, Vicar Max? Sawed-off shotgun? That. Probably swap you to that, brother. Give you a lot more melee. Since you said prefer melee. Increase your hack skills by 10%. Decrease the amount of threads. Increase amount of threads. Increase health. Since you're gonna be up on the line. Oh, what's this? Requires the previous perk. Increase the detection of your dialogue combat. While Max is in your party, 20% science. Oh, I guess that's like his special one? Distance. I'll have you close and I'll have melee. Aggressive. Yes. And then I'll have you medium. expensive? Yes. Definitely gonna spec health first. And then hacking will come later. Oh, might as well manually save over that. Do you have any special perks? Engineering, extract mods, 25% dilation meter. That's cool. Oh, we gotta set our destination. Where the hell are we? Can we go to Finesis?
No.
Oh, welcome to the systems map. Here you can see all planets in the system, as well as some special planets of interest that you may have discovered. You can also fly your ship to locate any that you have unlocked through some landing bay requirements. Oh, some landing bays require special codes and keys before you're allowed to land on them. Moving between planets is considered extremely dangerous, and all employees to remain home or at work.
Arriving at Phineas's top secret orbital lab.
Oh, so how do I?
I think I'll initiate an unscheduled rest cycle while you're out.
Alright, I got both of them then. Phineas's improvised science lab? Rocks, no. Never touch this? You don't know what that is. Okay. Ooh, organic chemistry. Have no clue what that structure is. It looks really familiar though. Like extremely. I've had a question on an exam about that structure.
Hello? Can you hear me? Does this work?
Yes, yes it does.
Oh, damn it. Blast, that's loud.
What the hell do I do on this ship? I guess I'm gonna become familiar with this ship eventually. Okay, can't go there. I'm pretty sure if we fall down there, we die. We'll just test that theory. Okay, we can't even fall down there. Invisible barriers.
I'm just securing my ongoing experiments. And securing myself. Mind the mess. I haven't had a visitor since, in fact, I've never had a visitor.
Oh, thank the law. Your skin hasn't spontaneously changed color. Potential side effect of the revival process. Very rare, but you never know. Right. Welcome to my little habitation, such as it is. I've got caffeinoids, cysty bits, if you're into that sort of thing.
What the hell is
So,
cysty bits?
welcome. Make yourself at home. My secret hideout is your secret hideout. Not at all, my intrepid accomplice. I should thank you for tolerating my somewhat brusque manner. I only regret that I couldn't save more of your fellow settlers, what with being hunted by the board, and emptying my supply of necessary
That was
chemicals.
some delicious water.
Of course. What's on your mind? Oh, it's not you. I do experiments in that room. Some of them get quite scientific. The unexpected is to be treasured, but from a safe distance. Regardless, it's quite comfortable in here, you know. I have my beans, have my caffeinoids, plenty of toilet paper.
I wonder why.
Absolutely. Let's talk. No, and I've been trying very hard to avoid making eye contact.
Nice to meet you, Dr. Wells. I'm Parvati Holcomb.
Wait, not another word. I don't want to know your name. I don't want to know who you are. Let's just enjoy our plausible deniability while it lasts, shall we? Why don't you just invite the entire colony to my secret, carefully concealed laboratory? It isn't as if I wanted privacy.
Show a little hospitality, bro.
Oh, very well. I can be a little cantankerous when I haven't had my caffeinoids. You have my apologies and so forth.
That boy.
For what it's worth, I am pleased that you found a crew, such as they are. You're a talented scientist after all. Our kind has always been incredibly popular.
Ha, yeah.
What's on your mind? Absolutely. Oh, goodness, no. I wouldn't survive 10 seconds in the blackness of the aether. Well, no, I imagine I'd last at least 12 seconds before I'd lose consciousness and die of hypoxia.
You smart ass.
Life outside work? No, of course not. My life is my work. For that matter, everyone else's lives are also my work. An entire colony's worth of lives are at stake. It's up to me, up to us to set things right. To answer your question, I'd rather stay right here in my lab. There's too much work to be done. The Hope's colonists won't revive themselves, you know. Because we've lost our way, the board has a stranglehold over this colony, and we've all been conditioned into total obedience. The Hope is full of specialists, scientists, engineers, talented individuals like you, people who haven't been corrupted by the board. Unfortunately, the Hope's colonists have been frozen for decades, well past your shelf life, so to speak. No offense. I live in a glass box with my experiments. Do I look like I care about social graces? I'd rather work on perfecting my research.
Damn, dude, chill.
10 years. That's how long the average human can remain in hibernation. You were frozen for decades. In theory, you never should have survived the revival process. But the conventional theories are wrong. You're living proof that it can be done. There's yet hope for the Hope. Get it? We'll do our very best to save them all. I'd best get back to work. I can feel my last dose of caffeinoid fading.
Alright.
I could spend hours reflecting on the secret workings of the universe. Little else in this colony offers such a relaxing pastime. So, tell me what's on your mind. I excel at confessional listening.
Nothing. Messages. Hack 20 White House? Yes, why thank you. I worked it out. Explain details later. Will be difficult to reproduce. Need your help. All necessary materials should be present in Helicon, but locations elude me. Dump my new associate, Dirtside Terror 2. Dear Edgewater, they have a stake in my purpose, but I trust them about only 23.7% at present. They're recovering a ship. Should be along anytime. Just let me know when you get to. Wow, you don't trust me. That's hard.
Careful, that's my communications terminal.
I could tell. Okay. Bubbles? Okay. You guys know what I'm about to do, so... Okay. So obviously we're not gonna kill Bubbles. We're not monsters, okay? We have morals. But I do wonder what that wire is. Don't worry, Bubbles, you're safe. What are you, Dad? Probably. Alright guys, well, I believe this is going to be the end of this video. There are going to be more to come, so be expecting another video to be posted sometime this week, probably Friday. But as always, if you did enjoy the video, go ahead and leave a like, rate, and then click that little bell thing, you see what happens. Also, comment down what you enjoyed about the video, if there's anything I could do better, and of course, always comment down what would you like to see next. Would you want to continue seeing this, or would you want to see like a mix of this? Maybe you want me to play a little bit of COD, Gears of War 3, play a little Plants vs. Zombies, what's the other game? Borderlands? Would you like me to play some more Borderlands? Maybe not the Let's Play, maybe just like a fun video I put together? Who knows? Go ahead and leave it down in the comments below. And as always, let's go!